Harmony and Leafy are wild and free and very much alive. It is a time of danger, and the voices that should be outraged shudder in silence. But if they are silent by choice, or by threat, or by ignorance, is known only to God. After the world quivers under the yoke of its own governments, who seized a perfect opportunity to gain control, the United Nations now holds dominion over the entire world. The young couple, Harmony and Leafy, who met at an airport at the age of 17, now conspire to fly to Costa Rica, one of the few nations that has not completely shut its borders, to get married. They seek to find a home together, far away from the worlds they had known in their youth.
If you go, you know I'm going too. If you give to me, I give to you. My love will dance until 10 a.m. until our feet start to hurt. Enrique Iglesias. I took my power in my hand and went against the world. Emily Dickinson. But if anyone does not provide for his own, and especially for those of his household, he has denied the faith and is worse than an unbeliever.
If you go, you know I'm going to. If you give to me, I give to you. My love will dance until 10 a.m. until our feet start to hurt. Enrique Iglesias.
I took my power in my hand and went against the world. Emily Dickinson. But if anyone does not provide for his own, and especially for those of his household, he has denied the faith and is worse than an unbeliever.
Dreams swallowed me whole. I dreamed last night that I was in South Africa with you, and I would never return to the United States ever again. Each precious moment in life passes slowly, and all I want is to be forever enveloped into your arms, shielding me from suffocating under a vast weight of anxiety. I woke up and you weren't there, and I walked the streets of the suburbs for several hours until the sun rose in the sky, and fell in love with the spirit of the fall, which became a memory forever. The joy of finding language and learning a new one. I started studying Afrikaans, read the dictionary every day, and learn a new word. I always wanted to be someone with the power of language, so I could be ever find us. During the night, we are protected and hidden, the voiceful wind shreds through the layers of my bed sheets, meets my ears and fills my mind with dreams. Our dancing feet throughout the world finally met here. The wind of these oceans calms us as we sit by the shore, watching the rising of the sun over and over. Where we are better here, lost and found. I walked away from the life that I knew, towards what was foolish but gave me eternal hope. I followed you into the waters and arose out of those waters, changing the rosic in a life guided our hearts forever. I knew that you were the criminal soul I wanted to follow into the future, and I took your hand and you guided me to a place where we could hear the birds singing. Even after the President of the United States thought he had slain them all, this life was ours. The tropical sun, the flow of the palm trees, the bustling streets of San Jose, Costa Rica, where we forever would celebrate language and learn new languages every day. The experience within our hearts was forever growing, and the warmth in our hearts never grew dim, always glow with light. Our revival within the world where we would forever dream about escaping from the forces opposed to us. Our eternal holiday where we would raise our children together. Where we would raise our children together. Changing the rosic in a life guided our hearts forever. Where we are better here, lost and found. I walked away from the life that I knew, towards what was foolish. It gave me eternal hope. I followed you into waters and waters, and arose out of those waters, changing the music in our life guided our hearts forever. I knew that you were the criminal soul I wanted to follow into the future, and I took your hand and you guided me to a place where we could hear the birds singing. Even after the President of the United States thought he had slain them all, where this life was ours, the tropical sun, the flow of the palm trees, the bustling streets of San Jose, Costa Rica, where we forever would celebrate language and learn new languages every day. The experience within our hearts was forever growing, and the warmth in our hearts never grew dim, always glowing with light. Our revival within the world where we would forever dream about escaping from the forces opposed to us. Our eternal holiday where we would raise our children together. The spring air of Costa Rica, the oceans that always cascade into our shores, and there is no telling where this riptide will sweep us off till we are shipwrecked souls here together, and we will never complain about being away from the world. Marooned on an island while our nations consume themselves in their own flames, we drew closer to the stories of a world the way we wanted it to be. We would risk anything for the other, not withholding anything at all from the other. There is no mountain I wouldn't climb to reach you, and together we would climb down a mountain and walk the streets of the city, and eventually start running through the world, dreaming the dreams of those who tread the streets alone, alienated by heads of nations, a nation without weapons. We stand here with nothing to lose, because there is nothing you can take from us. Life, you are the rhythm of the seasons. You are the motion of the passing hours that never announce their departure, always vanishing, never reappearing. The free-flowing spirit of mine, running through the world, falling forever after. What I know will take me without hesitation to a world I have never known. We always dream about arriving in places we believe are unreachable. The government's pressing the weight against our sides as we try to sleep, and we realize we will never wake up. With the crushing weight of immeasurable adventure in the halls of a world where no one can stand their own ground and never stop. Painting portraits of the nations, of all peoples coming together forever as one, swallowed whole by the joy of self-expression, realizing it is the only way out of a life that is trapped forever in the rhythm of not moving or going anywhere. My nation found its voice and spoke forever, wherever I went. I myself am the power of a nation. Together we forget the past. We are a new people glowing forever, with the powerful ascent up towards something I know I can hold in my heart. Forever, forever. My susceptible soul would run after any single glimmer of hope, untamed forever, unable to stand, except in the swell of lights, the glitter of the stars in the sky. Come hold me forever, my harmony walks by. The beauty of the ocean, some distant shore from here, and I know my anger has encapsulated me. When I hear that she is in distress, and I am completely immobilized, powerless to fight the demons that assault her. And I bask in the sway of my oceans, knowing that all oceans connect, and all I have to do is hold on to them. And I will be forever closer to her. My susceptible soul would run after any single glimmer of hope, untamed forever, unable to stand, except in the swell of lights, the glitter of the stars in the sky. Come hold me forever, my harmony walks by. The beauty of the ocean, some distant shore from here, and I know my anger has encapsulated me. When I hear that she is in distress, and I am completely immobilized, powerless to fight the demons that assault her. And I bask in the sway of my oceans, knowing that all oceans connect, and all I have to do is hold on to them. And I will be forever closer to her. And I will be forever closer to her. Today the sun shines across the streets where we forever thought the thugs would be shielded forever from the piercing eye of truth. Dance with me as the sun rises forever until 11 a.m. and we collapse forever into the world cup in arms of the other, catching up with the eternal silence that floods our souls when all we will know in the future is fear. All we have, the here and the now, the feathers of the birds that remind us that they were once here in the world. Fight for me on the floor of your asphalt when no cars will drive anywhere. No planes above our heads and no birds to replace them. No stars at night to shine to light us a pathway. That was the world we had known before. Now all that is left is the light of the day, and we are no longer afraid when we can see all that was masked by the night. San Jose is our eternal home, the glory of coming home to a place where the street sing with celebration every single night. Our language is exalted, our beings are elevated, our hopeful light collides with our world and never leaves it. Understanding in the way you envision the world when you were younger, uncorrupted, and the life in the world was tangible, graspable, and real. The wind against the palm trees and your arms on the beach, the beauty that we fall after sometimes deceives. But yours and me forever in the world, where I knew that I could feel the love in the world and would never be wounded by the knives of cyborgs, badgered by the tempest of the winds of those who never understood all. Those who never understood all that we held dear in our words, which we spread with the world. To anyone who would listen, I felt nothing but adrenaline when I lay to sleep, the light of the robots in my eyes. As the car drove across Lunatal, in your eyes, I understand the brilliant joy of knowing that together we have the ability to escape. My oceans can carry me to your shores where I can rest, knowing that the truth in my life is in cherishing the love I have received, and never letting it go. And no matter how long, no matter how far, we hold on to what we love, despite the badgering creatures outside our rooms, pulling to pieces forever, battering the front doors of our homes, trying to take what never belonged to them. lines against human trafficking across the world. When voices are snuffed out, when lies are louder than any other voice. When freedom of speech and movement trampled over in the depth of suffocation. Our eternal home, which we believe will always be ours and ours alone. Hand in hand we walk through the streets of San Jose. The unfiltered sunlight bursting against our faces. There are so many people and places to see. I started teaching you Spanish, and you knew that this was now your world, and you would need no other. You would breathe with me, and I would marry you this summer, and would never want to leave you again. The power in my heart that overcomes all the oceans of their government tells truth, even when our arms are twisted behind our backs. Nuestra Casa, eternal, will never be taken from us. This is our universe, which we hold close in our minds. Walk with me forever down these streets, and at night we dance together. The unfiltered sunlight bursting against our faces. There's so many people and places to see. I started teaching you Spanish, and you knew that this was now your world, and you would need no other. You would breathe with me, and I would marry you this summer, and would never want to leave you again. Oceans of their government tells truth, even when our arms are twisted behind our backs. Nuestra Casa, eternal, will never be taken from us. This is our universe, which we hold close in our minds. Walk with me forever down these streets, and at night we dance together and dream on the floor of the night. We are pilgrims on a journey here, building a family which will live on forever. Light, never going out, miscarriage of justice. Light, they attempt to squelch the night sky, devoid of scars. Except sure we can run away and never find anyone who will oppress us. My heart was always dreaming about finding you, and now you are here with me, the final breath of mine, which longs to escape from my lungs. We are pilgrims on a journey here, building a family which longs to escape from my lungs. And I will always want to breathe in again. Our hearts will glow in with joy when we realize that the demons that ruled the world would never let go. Their grasp was unstoppable, gripping and never letting go. Always holding so tightly until the victims could no longer move. The governments were their puppets, they spoke through them, stood behind them while they spoke with their claws on their mouths. Of the president's voices censored, life destroyed, the demonic threatened the government, and followed through and never stopped bashing the head of the government into the rocks and into submission. But harmony never obeyed the government. hearts were glowing with joy when we realized that the demons that ruled obeyed the government stood there as an independent and free soul. Free flowing as the winds of passing time, glowing forever in my heart is the need for not only simple connection, but also for a home that only we together can build. The streets are empty at night, which once were bustling with people. Hand in hand, walk them with the burning city. Far behind us, we have fled from the violence within the world to find each other. Out of all places, here passionate forever, eagerly awaiting change within the world. And one day, if the world returns to its previous self, we may even return to it. But for now, we wait here in this city, dreaming by the shore of Jackal Beach of a life together in countless worlds. But this is the only one thus far to have welcomed us here. My mind numbed by the heat of the sun, and by its poetry, and by the poetry of the breeze, we fall together into the spirit of the free-flowing wind, which now and forever enters my front door. All we ever wanted was somewhere to fly away to, like those birds who were persecuted by the President of the United States. My heart always flows on forward, never returns to where it was before. The days of our past all exist and thrive in San Jose, but only as ghosts, the love in veins, ready to burst open forever in their need and longing to pack up and leave South Africa to stay here forever with you. Even the memory of times spent with you made my soul burst out in ecstatic song. Freefall. The phantoms that dwell here are all benevolent. We together all seek truth, the memory of the past, fading forever, making way for brand new memories in our life together. My heart was always longing for a new way of experience, A new light like a candle, a new dream and its fragrance that remains here forever, even long after it is gone. The cadence of you following us until time expires. The gasoline that propels our lives forward can only take us so far. Life and our identity in this place were prepared for us. In this house there were many dwelling places, but one prepared for us. And here we no longer had any fear. Hold on to me forever, and we will pass the tradition and story all this down thousands of generations. The story, when it is passed down, is remembered and made real, serving not only as encouragement but also as a bitter warning. The life in our veins was flowing on forward with no sign of stopping. Save for what would abruptly stop it, the aching sign of hearts to overcome and to eternity. The moon lights up the room, the stars all aligned, brighter than ever, because we had found the place all of them have fled to away from the persecution of the President of the United States. The cadence of you following us until time expired. Forward, hardling us and timing us until time expired. Whoa. Even if hardling us or fading us until time expires, the gasoline that propels our lives. In this place we're prepared for us, and all name this place here, away from the persecution of the President of the United States. The world we found on our own, our sanctuary, our place of contemplation, and visions dream with me on the floor of your future. Hold me closer, like the unsung anthem that you are. Come hold me and admire the beauty of poetry itself, glowing on forward forever. Hold me in this sacred space, this holy ground, and we remove our sandals and walk on the water. Beneath our feet, the whole world flooded with water, but at least we are destined to gaze up toward the sky, feeling elated at the visions of multitudes of birds that had all nested here, quietly dreaming of building their own families away from the swift pressure and constant antagonism, which led to violence which they fled from. As emblems of peace, bearers of their lamps, holding them calmly dreaming outside the walls of our city. We watch these birds fly high above our walls as they enter and find a life in their own veins. All life exudes from the fountain that we found here. The secret to everlasting life is streams of living water. My heart always overflowing with new memories, and each morning we wake to a new sunrise, there is no longer any need to fight. San Jose had become our eternal home, our great world which welcomed us forever and drew us into its bosom to stay here, and we would never have a care in the world again, life emptied and fulfilled. Staying here forever, never again a desire to leave this city grasped around us tighter than our skin. The life in our veins led us here together. We followed our own beating hearts to the only place in the world where life would thrive. The rhythm of my heart forever kept me here in its motion with you. The light in my eyes on the moon, and you gazed at the moon, and now and forever gazed deeply at all of the approaching stars that heard it was safe to shine upon this city. So they all congregate and glorify God in the highest heaven. And I went to sleep and slept and dreamt of these same stars, that they would always return, always found their place in the movement and dances and sway in the sky. The rhythm of my heart forever kept me here in its motion with you. The light in my eyes on the moon, and you gazed at the moon, and now and forever gazed deeply at all of the approaching stars that heard it was safe to shine upon this city. So they all congregate and glorify light in the highest heaven. And I went to sleep and slept and dreamt of these same stars, but they would always return, always found their place in the movement and dances and sway in the sky. The movement of my words forever dancing always across the nation, like birds spreading from one end of the earth to the other, with 7 bright stars to guide them. They led them here to this city, where voices blend with Miguel, the brightest of these stars, who I gazed at hovering over South Africa in my youth, brighter and clearer than all the stars that still remain in the sky, that had not gone out and exhausted their light. My thoughts always coming back to my life, be forever, always holding in it all hope for the future, desperate life inside my veins, always desiring to find itself far away from these places, these oceans in my heart exploding. And I always dream about what it might be like to be held closely and swallowed in the arms of euphoria, bliss now gone so far away. She will not find her life in any world that breathes like this one. Always desire to walk far away from this present world. The fall of all worlds encompassed in a single song. Joy of self-expression and a constant rejection of all extremist politicians. Nothing left but the courage to write and to express these worlds with simple words that pass us by in time. Promises of the future are always broken in the mouths of wicked politicians, and nothing we can ever do to fight or to stand our own ground. The life invades, suffocating forever. My heart is overcome by the oceans of grief, of the deaths of close family members, of the constant fog of never being able to get a job or to leave this place and find education. Always a constant anthem in my heart, drawing me towards my promise and certain future. Deep in my bones I know it, this world surrounded by an eternal fog that is always lost forever. The veins of the world always flowing with life and energy, movement and eternal power. I'll move forward forever by poetry. The words in free-flowing rhythm forever, where we know we always will be here forever. Not trapped, but we will never have a desire to go anywhere else. We will always stay here in Costa Rica, seeing visions of the future, watching the 7 stars light up the sky, and the 5 great birds fly freely through the skies. Never leaving San Jose or the surrounding countryside, never having any desire at all to leave. My diamond heart is invulnerable here from the constant threat of breaking, and the sky will be our silver screen, and we will see the ultimate joy in our hearts, ready to be unfurled, released and wild, free and ready to inherit the world, ready to fly through this world, always with no sign that they will ever slow. As patient doves, the birds flew through the sky, the last of them no longer terrorized by those governments who falsely thought they could control them. My heart opens wide for the entire world to feel. No more threats of violence to fill my mind with fear. There is a fortress around us that shields us from all of this. My heart was always open to you, my life vulnerable and open to only you, willing to take in the rhythm of the music and follow this rhythm wherever it would lead us. Our dancing feet throughout the world came together and met here, and only here can we safely be together outside of our deepest dreams, which we experienced together. Hold me close, let the past and winds dance with me and with me alone. The fight birds will guide us in their music, and the 7 stars will light us a path through the pleasant shadows in this sanctuary. Miguel guiding us by his fluorescent light. Feliciano following the rhythm of the gust of the wind, flying to the place where we will go next, preparing for our arrival. And all the stars came together and shined upon us and guided us to places where we knew we would never have to tread alone again. I will weep no more, I cannot hold back the tears. Life always hurts in this world, and we will always dance together, spinning and running throughout this world, breathing in the free air, becoming like those birds that fly forever toward whatever destination they find themselves in. Within my chest, my heart beats 10 million times. Which I could only think about in dreams, and no other place would satisfy me but hear the gentle flow of all corners of the winds, at last meeting here and all here, and thus progressing lesson by forever. Feliciano following the rhythm of the gusts of the wind, with the ghost of the winds at last meeting here, and all music comes together here as one singular and eternal voice forever. Never again to be separated from the others, holding in the heart of this same wind, the hope for all the nations. Miguel led the rest of the stars in the glowing light, in the song of light, believing that the rest of the world would be enthralled by the song of life. The world never understood the light, had no name for it, could not understand it, and eventually violently rebelled against and warred against it in uncontrolled rage, lashed out as it did ages ago. The light of orthodoxy would never be heard in the world. The life in vain slowly died, and when this life grew dim, there was no food to be found in the world, and the world began to starve and writhe in its misery. I have loved you forever, lifey. Even through the chaos, we will be here together, fighting, writing, and thriving, always here together, dreaming on the floor of the asphalt. I get up and spin around my dresses, all the stars, and I am crowned by all the birds, the few that have survived here. Felt it any memory. I'm not eventually violently rebelled against and warred against and warred against it, and warred against the starving ride in its misery. I have loved you forever, I have loved you forever. You, even through the chaos, we will be here together in its misery. I have loved you forever, lifey. Oh, even through the chaos, we will be here together, fighting, writing, and thriving, always here together, dreaming on the floor of the asphalt. I get up and spin around my dresses, all the stars, and I am crowned by all the birds, the few that have survived here. The world never understood the light, had no name for it, could not understand it, and eventually violently rebelled against it, warred against it in uncontrolled rage, lashed out as it did ages ago, did ages ago, did ages ago. The news from far away, which we watched on the screen, about a world collapsing, suffocating under the weight of its own power, as we lay together in a little house by the beach, letting the wind come in through the open bedroom door. The curtains of the large open window blowing in the breeze, telling me secrets about the stars, releasing them all to me, telling me that all of these stars had arrived here along with the birds, to a place they knew they would face. No more vicious persecution from the President of the United States, and whatever power stretches out its hand to snuff out the life from beautiful and precious things before being able to understand what it is they are destroying. The life in my heart was broken forever when the bird Matthias returned to me and told me secrets of his own family that was lost in the war. And he led me to the place where all his friends flew and populated the sky, forever grazing in these skies above San Jose. Forever his home, always his choice to remain here free and independent of any who would claim dominion over him. In harmony took my hand. And we walked for hours until we came to a place where musicians were spread, playing local tunes. The band roared with passion in their song, and we danced together slowly. And this is the way things would be forever, until the end of all time. There was no longer any need to worry about a single thing. The life we found together would never be stripped from us again. There was put up a great barrier around this city, that no one could go back and forth. We had no desire to return to that world from which we had fled here. The crowns we wore were recognized, and we were given honor and power. Although we walked 8,000 miles, we never ran out of space. We were always finding new places to explore and new people to speak with. Family members who we thought we had lost and made it here as well. And we learned together that here in this place there is nothing more glorious than families. Came to a place where musicians were playing local tunes. The band roared with passion in their song, and we danced together slowly. And this is the way things would be forever, until the end of all time. There was no longer any need to worry about a single thing. The life we found together would never be stripped from us again. There was put up a great barrier around this city, strip from us again. There was put up a great barrier around this city, that no one could go back and forth. We had no desire to return to that world from which we had fled here. The crowns we wore were recognized, and we were given honor and power. And we walked for ages, and although we walked 8,000 miles, we never ran out of space. We were always finding new places to explore and new people to speak with. Family members who we thought we had lost have made it here as well. And we learned together that here in this place there is nothing more glorious than families. From the contemplated poverty and homelessness, from the cruelty of those who never understood the depths inside our souls. God was always filled with a certain electric power that flowed on forward forever. Because these winds always followed me and pushed me on forward, I would always dream about the light of the stars that were now so close to us, that we danced together and learn the dance of the stars. All we ever wanted found its fulfillment here. The flawless birth forever. Of all of the oceans surrounding us, the flow of stars that all have their own personalities and hopes for the future. But when they were shunned by the world, all of them were unable to move for a time in the sadness, and their lights grew dimmer, but their very purpose was scorned. So they dreamed about leaving the world to find a new world to shine over, a place where they belong, and where they could inhabit their own purpose. I was always filled with the float on forward forever. Because these winds always followed me and pushed me on forward, I would always dream about the light of the stars that were now so close to us, that we danced together and learned the dance of the stars. All we ever wanted found its fulfillment here. The flawless birth forever. Because these winds always followed me and pushed me on forward, I would always dream about the light of the stars that were now so close to us, that we danced together and learned the dance of the stars. All we ever wanted found its fulfillment here. The flawless breath forever. Of all of the oceans surrounding us, the full of stars that all have their own personalities and hopes for the future. But when they were shunned by the world, all of them were unable to move for a time in the sadness, and their lights grew dimmer, but their very purpose was scorned. So they dreamed about leaving the world to find a new world to shine over, a place where they belonged and where they could inhabit their own purpose. Walking these streets again, hand in hand with you. The cars speeding by, and in this moment the clouds covered the sky. The stars unable to shed their light, because now we stood even in this place in darkness. Because the lights had fled after the fog pursued them. Walk through these streets with me forever. They always called my name, though long ago I had forgotten the names of these streets. The street lights flickering forever. my heart swollen out, boiling over with passionate song. I knew what had always united us and brought us at last together here. I was tormented by the memories of lives experienced long ago. Paper and ink are the only tools, they are the only weapons we need to come to our own in this world. Walking these streets again, hand in hand with you. The cars speeding by, and in this moment the clouds covered the sky. The stars unable to shed their light, because now we stood even in this place in darkness, because the lights had fled after the fog pursued them. Walk through these streets with me forever. They always called my name, though long ago I had forgotten the names of these streets. The street lights flickering forever, my heart swollen out, boiling over with passionate song. I knew what had always united us and brought us at last together here. I was tormented by the memories of lives experienced long ago. Paper and ink are the only tools, they are the only weapons we need to come to our own in this world. Here I shall find my rest in these pages. Between the peaceful breaths flow out words forever, so that we will always understand each other. Your heart and mine here together, forever glowing in the patient passing of time and all seasons, which have all completely melded together into one single whole unit. Our power grows together, and here we are growing into the persons we were always meant to be once. The words come to the edge of my lips. No one can stop me, no one will overcome my almighty heart. I am here forever grieving the loss of the worlds we had all forgotten. I am forceful forever. No one and nothing will ever stop me. My clear head, a mind innocent of any crime. Glowing on forward for fully and inspired, always able to write about the world and the way it might be. Long after nations have fallen apart, my heart and yours forever in union. My life united closer to your soul than even the bonds themselves. A family, the almighty chorus of ours. And now we'll be championed throughout the world by those even outside the invisible walls surrounding San Jose. The light of my heart blowing up forever. My heart was glued to yours. My memories in this life reach beyond. I became the mistress of the understanding of truth, always wanting to find within the world whatever it was that always rang true forever and the day after forever. Hold me closer in your arms as we sing forward into the dreams which all began in our youth. Follow me into the place where we can rest our feet, into the sands that meet the oceans here. Our anger, our wrath, our joy and our peace are all laid to rest forever. My anxiety and my hopes also here are all laid to rest in these sands forever. With no need or desire to leave, our home was anchored securely in the ground, and no winds could ever overcome such strength. My heart belongs to harmony, my life and hers intertwined and forever resting here, with no desire to get up and leave this place again. Power of our hearts bursting out forth across the world forever. Was that always rang true forever and the day after forever. Hold me closer in your arms as we sing forward into the dreams which all began in our youth. Follow me into the place where we can rest our feet, into the sands that meet the oceans here. Our anger, our wrath, our joy and our peace are all laid to rest forever. My anxiety and my hopes also here are all laid to rest in these sands forever. With no need or desire to leave, our home was anchored securely in the ground, and no winds could ever overcome such strength. My heart belongs to harmony. The stars all gathered here and flew forward towards the heavens, and waited for the stories to be told, so that they could listen and understand them. They desired to wait here and listen patiently forever. 3, 2, 3, the magic in the air is more prominent now that our anthem is sung throughout. We will never stop, constantly moving throughout the world, and it glows forever as life in the sky. She is my anchor both now and until the end of all time. My experience flew forward constantly into the future, never being able to stay in one place. My ocean of a voice is a spacious room with many dwelling places, many new sets of voices to know. My fears could never strangle my heart. Never could attain a firm grip. Never could attain a firm grip. My night fled away at the first sign of the birds chirping in the morning, filling up the beautiful trees with their chorus. I am here with these beautiful creatures, dreaming about worlds that exist parallel to ours, where we can find those who long ago had passed away. My fondest memories in my youth were with those who guided me and taught me the greatest life lessons. But most of these teachers had passed away long before their time. Never could attain a firm grip. Not before their time. Never could attain a firm grip. Constantly into being moving throughout the world, and it glows forever as life in the sky. She is my anchor both now and until the end of all time. My experience flew forward constantly into the future, never being able to stay in one place. My ocean of a voice is a spacious room with many dwelling places, many new sets of voices to know. My fears could never strangle my home. Never could attain a firm grip. Never being able to stay in one place. My ocean of a voice is a spacious room with many dwelling places, many new sets of voices to know. My fears could never strangle my hope. I am the last one to stand here in the midst of vicious thunderstorms, and I lifted my hands and found the meaning of the storms, and found the reason why they were here. Tormenting the world, they were all etching out a greater purpose, carving a sculpture that we could see and feel with our hands, and understand and hold forever. The motion of the wind when it calm spoke and told me that it could only move at the consent of God. All I ever wanted was a heaven to fall into, which I could understand and feel and dream about and memorize its music. It followed me forever because it exuded forever. From my every stroke of a pen and from every syllable of my voice, and we were no longer pawns in a game which we had no control over. We were the masters of the game, the rulers of the world, of the disenfranchised, ruled over the entire world and dominion over it. My sorcerer's soul would feel for every soul in the world, and I knew all I could do was reach out with my hands towards the redemption. I knew it overflow the entire earth like fire, flood it and burn it until only the beauty remained. No one could stop us from dreaming about the future. My heart was weary from the life I had lived, from the desperate longing to become whole, and the magic in my soul guided me at last here to this very city. When he calm spoke and told me that it could only move back. It called me that it could only move at the consent of all, into which I can hold with heart only when it calm spoke and told me that it could only move at the consent of God. Only that spoke, all I ever wanted was a heaven to fall into it in. When it calm spoke and told me that it could only move at the consent of God. The calm spoke and told me it was a heaven to which I could understand and feel and dream about and memorize its music. It followed me forever because it exuded forever, only moved at the consent of God. All I ever wanted was a heaven to fall into, which I could understand and feel and dream about and memorize its music. It followed me forever because it exuded forever from my every stroke of a pen, and from every syllable of my voice, and every syllable of a pen, and from every syllable of my voice. And we were no longer pawns in a game which we had no control over. We were no longer pawns in a game which we had no control over. We were the masters of the game, the rulers of the world, of the disenfranchised, ruled over the entire world and dominion over it. My sorcerer's soul would feel for every soul in the world, and I knew all I could do was reach out with my hands towards the redemption. I knew what all I could do was reach out with my hands towards the redemption. I knew it overflow the entire earth like fire, flood it and burn it. Only the beauty remained, no one could stop us from dreaming about the future. My heart was weary from the life I had lived, from the desperate longing to become whole, and the magic in my soul guided me at last here to this very city where I found you and fell in love with you forever. San Jose will always be our home, and I will promise I hear about the future, and the days will come will lead up to only one certain event. That in the future we will be held closely in the arms of charity, and never be able to escape from its guiding hand. Never forceful, but always guiding and leading us to a future which we crave more than any we have read about in books. A place we want to go to more than any place we have ever explored in this world. I knew all I could do was reach out with my hands towards the redemption. I knew would overflow the entire earth like fire, flooded and burning, until only the beauty remained. No one could stop us from dreaming about the future. My heart was weary from the life I had lived, from the desperate longing to become whole, and the magic in my soul guided me at last here to this very city where I found you and fell in love with you forever. San Jose will always be a home, and I will prophesy here about the future, and the days will come and lead up to only one certain event, that in the future we will be held closely. We will be held closely in the arms of charity, never be able to escape from its guiding hand. Never forceful, but always guided and leading us to a future which we crave more than any we have read about in books. Place we wanna go to more than any place we have ever explored in this world. San Jose will always be a home, and I will prophesy here about the future, and the days will come and lead up to only one certain event, that in the future we will be held closely. We will be held closely where I found you and fell in love with you forever. San Jose will always be our home. I will prophesy here about the future, and the days will come and lead up to only one certain event, but in the future we will be held closely in the arms of charity, never be able to escape from his guiding hand. Never forceful, always guiding, leading us to a future which we crave more than any we have read about in books. A place we want to go to more than any place we have ever explored in this world. Hold me forever in this place we have summoned to come down to us, so that we can always be one with the passing breeze. And we will always mention the world we came from to sojourners on their adventure, resting for a moment, and we are only heard when they wait for a moment to listen, even though they know that very well might not be anyone here to speak to them. But here we are nonetheless. We are free to explore any person or place in the world, and we never grow weary. We will always be here, inhabiting the world and filling all the meadows with our passionate song. Our voiceful rhythm shines out forever, and the weight of our regret is lifted when we hear the silent words of mercy, which rings forever above the world. My heart is weary from the journey, but always ready for the next one, and on the next adventure is whole and at peace, and ready to embark forever on a journey that will always define the future. The sting and taste and venom of the governments that restricted us could not find us here, and we swelled in emotion forever of joy, and never wanted to be away from the other. All we could think about was the momentous world we would build, if only for a moment we could move on our own accord and start with the rubble around us. It never takes long to get started moving these stones and building up a home, sheltered in the warmth of this home. We can relax and find uninterrupted rest. 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 just perches here and watches the windows for any who would intrude on our rest. Knowing that we have suffered for so long, he stands watch over us, waiting to warn us about coming danger. And he stands strong and tall forever here. The songs were vibrant, but the truth was greater. The songs we expressed could only portray so much before they stopped being able to express what was inside our souls. The life in my veins was ready, dancing across the world. This was our home, and the beauty of it was that we would never need to find another again. Here with my lifey, I would rest, and I would find myself whole and submersed in his arms. I would have not a fear in the world, because this was the world we wanted. This was the world we craved, and this was the world we made for ourselves. Come outside and watch the stars. Dance with me. The birds flying up to meet us, and to make the show grander and more majestic than we thought it could ever be. We are the wayward souls who rest here for a short time to find ourselves, enamored by the beautiful sway of lights. The patience we find is unconditional. Despite how ugly the world had become, I always had the hope in my soul, which I had in my youth. Governments collapsing and we no longer trust anyone, and all the heroes we looked for guidance in during the older days are all deceased. And now we must be those heroes and no one else will be brave. If we are not, our lives forever etched out our eternal home, carving into what it will be forever. We always return back to the beginning of things, and the world ended where it started, in fire and water and love and desperation. But in all things, justice and mercy that was inescapable. From one end of the earth to the other, we remembered our past mistakes, but could not find them and dreamed forever about becoming whole souls in the darkness of this room, where we sat and understood the patient life of ours was always meant to exist in dreams, which we would between now and the end of all time experience, both in chaos and in coming together in flames. And in the water that silences the flames forever, water was stronger than fire. Fire always stained our life, but in water all are born, and in water we are reborn forever. Rising out of the water, a new and whole persons who crave a world that understands and loves and thrusts us forward into eternity, where we become part of a grander plan under providence that underlines even the life of the stars, all for the glory of one substance in three persons of one life lived. We have which echoes all the truth with its energy, a perfect reflection of the divine essence of God, leading us here at last, to this place where freedom and genuine peace will last. And we will no longer desire to be anywhere but here, souls on fire with water and bursting out forth with life, brought back to life, crowned forever by the stars. And we became the true and only rulers of a world that could not escape from the dawning of grace. And we became the true and only rulers of a world that could not escape from the dawning of grace. Making all this justice and mercy that was inescapable, from Mars inescapable, from one end of the earth to the tunnel where we started. Of all seasons, there are permanent places and times, but for us nothing will ever change. We are all things we ever needed together. The light through our front door guides us into the future, which we always crave. The winds at night now comfort us, the caressing warmth of the passing away of all seasons and the converging dawn. Around the world, my heart and yours were always bonded together, holding on closely to all the things we experience in life. The glowing light of the passing hours leaves and never returns. Leaves this place vacant with no sign of ever coming back. My invulnerable heart could not be penetrated by any projectiles that are hurled at us. The heart is unmovable, the heart is unchangeable, incontestable, permanently here with no sign of ever moving away. The winds wave us in the streets and leads us always closer to our final resting place, where we may look into the eyes of the other, and in this place of rest understand each other and find equal acceptance together. A place to find solace from the bitter world which never opened its arms to us, but we always dreamed about holding the light from the stars in our hearts, so that it would never escape. In my soul, as we realize we all falling together down into dreams, and we wait for the silence to end, waiting here forever. Standing in the parking lot, spinning around in circles forever. Flowing around me, the spirits of all the birds calling us forever to rest in this place with them forever. A cardinal love for all of the days that passed, and all we are is the depth of the hours that continuously pass. Birds with me forever and forever, as the birds and the stars. Speak to me and not failing to surrender any of their secrets. Hold me closer in the winds of time. Know that my sacred places are now yours. The days that pass with us, wanting to become whole, stitched together from the pieces of our hearts. Flowing forever. Nowhere else but in this place. Together would we ever be united so closely? We have fled to a place where we will never hear again the hollow words of the politician who makes a speech while projecting his own crimes, accusing others of these same crimes. Blessed is the man who falls into these steps with us, away from the constant flood of lies, accusing us with no explanation, because truth cannot be extinguished. It can only be covered with screeching sounds like those of a mortal wounded dying animal. But in time those sounds are quiet, and then if you listen closely, you can hear it and understand. Understand. Flowing forever. Understand. Free-flowing pen of mine, moving with the same urgency of my rebel heart forever. Your heart and mine interlocked like a hand should be. My only fear is running out of ink or canvas space for my words. My life flows forward, a measureless hearts glowing with their airy minds. A part of these dreadful monsters, they're nurturing the painful aching parts inside which never stop throbbing. Their need is eternal even after the end of all time. The only desire we have is for this need to be satisfied. My sorcerer's soul was open forever for the experiences within this world to tread forward. I'm forever away from those who encase our precious minds in chambers which absolutely nothing has the power to escape. These fortifications are never penetrated by anything. No the secrets of every star, which willingly came down to earth, reached down to us, and stayed with us forever. Oh, we're always guiding our path in all times, places, and circumstances. I spin around in circles forever, embodying the powers and light of these stars. The life in my heart urges me forward, forever in dreams' hearts. Always thinking nothing will change the swell of fluid motion through this world. Nothing will ever grow brighter than the bright light of my desires to see this world in the light. It belongs eternally, forceful in its life of passion, and this light grows in me. Youth in all its unquenchable life, flowing forward with its creative lunge forward. All I ask is to be held in the arms of the wind, and remembered by friends who held me close in minds numbed by spirits that they ingested, and which tortured them all forever. Hold me under the light of life, follow me where resurrection will find us. The glory of simple moments of all hearts desiring family, meeting them here in the city and holding them forever. The blessings of all ages, infusing these rings of our own power, holding closer in the night, in our destiny, here to be promised a future when we are held in the arms of the comforting caress of light. The memories fading as lines which we can no longer read. Fall with me in dreams in which we are swallowed forever. You have no concept of any world on the other side of eternity. These stones, these hearts flow forward forever with living water like the source of my heart. The world's full of my voice when it's over. The wellspring of my voiceless soul, in its youth, propelled forward in its rhythm, and in its dance across the parking lot, like the stars that crown me and the birds that engulf me in the wind, and so much glorious hope. The world's full of my voice when it's over. And the arms of the wind, and the arms of the wind. The captivating touch and sound of the distant music, it burns in our hearts, takes them and lets them burn out forever, until there is no more kindle to be found anywhere in this aching world, which would light us ablaze in its symphonic roar. The silence that follows us like fading light And we held it close to our souls, never letting go, knowing that though no one else could see what we had found is valuable. We knew that the love between us was greater than all the threats we had received in the world, more precious, always present, and unshakable. Hold me close, like the angel that you are, from an uncertain heaven, falling down to earth, reaching down and not knowing why you arrived here or where you might be swept off to next. My soul aches forever, there will always be a desire in my heart to be made whole. When in this world all that we are is broken parts, split into so many pieces, hearts torn across the world. Always unable to find a final resting place, a final destination. My heart in its motion, always desire to be far away from where it originated. My heart glows forever and shines light all throughout the universe, but only reaches as far as my voice can reach. All I ever wanted was to reach my voice out and have someone hear it. I'm not dreaming and taking me to go to, and my heart was again broken apart. All the chaos in the world, my heart lived on. Though I was at that time only a phantom, could no longer fight with arms outstretched in this world. My mind was numbed by the incessant banging and clattering on its walls of those who strove to bring me down, of those who fired rounds of projectiles at these walls. But my heart was forever impervious to any danger, especially from these darts which would never penetrate the upper layer of my soul. Anxiety follows us down the road as we walk together, always the torment in souls that results from not knowing what the future might hold. The only chance we will ever have to escape from those chasing after us always was finding a place together where we could grow in our union and start over. This was always existing in the back of our minds, our hearts torn open with grief each passing day as we surrender to the fact that we might never obtain the peace we long to find our entire lives. All I want within this world is to feel every possible sensation. The tears always swelling up in our hearts, now these tears of our silent nation, flowing forever and nothing can stop them from growing and swelling and recreating the world, taking the world and melding it to conform to its own image. But we stand here with a magical barrier, protecting this city that nothing can penetrate, and no one will find us here in the chamber of our blessed hope. In a world full of burning homes, we have found one that no one can take from us. Flow with me forever into the light of the heavens, existing everywhere in the city. You will have no difficulty finding it. Our blissful hope lies here and sleeps in a place where we can always visit. In the place where we can always visit. nothing will ever stop me from breathing the air of passion that flows through my veins. Stronger than alcohol, stronger than any poison. Enough to survive the always present tension in my heart that claws at us now and for the rest of all time. At least I have an anthem in my soul that calls me to write and calls me to speak. And this speech is song, and the song in my soul is the one I've always tried to write but never finished. Always got only so far before failing to finish the rest of the story. Poems are written here forever in diaries that only those with pure hearts can read, or else they would not be able to read them and would only understand them as incoherent nonsense. My naked heart was unveiled and here for you to see and to explore each crevice in its depth and in its vast halls where there was found food in abundance and there was enough love there to feast and stay happy forever. Never again having a temptation to be anywhere but in that sacred space between truth, silence, and speaking, between truth and never hearing it. But even when it is never heard, it is only hidden, awaiting someone to dig it up for the whole world to see and understand. I spend the remainder of my fleeting years writing and wishing that I could be somewhere away with you. It was my one desire to have a home forever. Because you were my home, we will be laid to rest together. This is our funeral praise, our heaven song, our glorious, glorious plea to find someone with arms wide enough to accept us. Whenever I have a moment to stay here and write alone with my thoughts, those are the moments that shine the brightest within my life. Peaceful, blissful sleep and drowning forever in the motion of sleep, where in these dreams we find those who loved us and realize that they as well are at peace. My heart is swelling up and ready to burst from lack of expressing the bulk of my champion song. Written here in quiet moments when the world goes silent, my voice grows louder, all deaf ears would once again. Reach somewhere deep inside hearts that always were programmed to burst open. Is a mystery. My heart is flowing onward forever to meet a place where these oceans find it, and where the winds meet our sails and we sail off to worlds that never spoke our names. Oh, names. To stay here and write alone with my thoughts, those are the moments that shine the brightest within my life. Peaceful, blissful sleep and drowning forever in the motion of sleep, where in these dreams we find those who loved us and realize that they as well are at peace. My heart is swelling up and ready to burst from lack of expressing the bulk of my champion song. Written here in quiet moments when the world goes silent, my voice grows louder, all deaf ears would once again. And somewhere deep inside, hearts that always were programmed to burst open of my life is a mystery. My heart grows cold forever and golden by the memory of warmer worlds. If only I could hold you close. close to my heart. I know I would be satisfied forever. I burn with my every hatred bubbled up inside me for one reason, and it all had one purpose: to reclaim the home of mine, which was lost and which we may find again. The store of passion in my flowing heart was unending, and no one could ever reach the end of its vast and certain reservoirs. In this heart of mine, there was a free-flowing song which never would stop expressing itself. Its mist cleared only for you, and you could always swim the reservoirs in my heart. Complete freedom to be and become whoever we wanted to become together. Our strength forward from our penitent hearts, which now and always let their secrets go and fly forever towards the wind, carried by its current and by its frequent blow. Through the mountain, peace in the ethereal wind. Happiness is found here and only here, open in the arms of the gentle motion and reflection of onward time. I gave up my life to find it. I treasured the abundance of expression which we experienced. We sat here and listened to the eternal flow of waterfalls, and I know that someday in the future we will find the peace we dreamed of forever. Dreamed about. Home is a place all of us desire, but it is the most unreachable destination for too many wayward souls. I am the sailor at sea, lost myself in an unpredictable current, but I am brave nonetheless to confront this open sea without hesitation or regret. Shadows follow all of us on the path we walk in life. Find me in the crevice, the canyon, we journey across, always seeking the path away from this place under home. At least in the arms of the other, no one will understand. A soul tortured by the absence of lights which faded forever. Power of the words flowing out of the page, pushing and pulling on hearts and pulling the stars down from the heavens. At last to this place where we can feel the pleasant sensations of nothing more but the winds of time caressing us. From one stage of this life to the next in the path we walk in life. Find me in the crevice, the canyon, we journey across, always seeking a path away from this place on the home. At least in the arms of the other, no one will understand. A soul tortured by the absence of lights which faded forever. Are we in the crevice, the canyon, we journey across, always seeking a path away from this place under home. At least in the arms of the other, no one will understand. A soul tortured by the absence of lights which faded forever. Power of the words flowing out of the page, pushing and pulling on hearts and pulling the stars down from the heavens. At last to this place where we can feel the pleasant sensations of nothing more but the winds of time caressing us. From one stage of this life to the next. And when the stars are drawn back to this world, guided by Miguel, the mightiest of them all, we know the power that stands as a steward over the world. And my glowing spirit, like the light of distant stars, fills this room. And the light of the distant stars comfort all in this world. Comfort all in this world. Comfort all in this world. In this world. In this world. Victims of terror, we were unable to stand in the light. We always preferred the shadows, where none of the terrors could ever hope to find us. Follow my dreams tonight, somewhere we can feel them together. Casa, eternal, is closer than we can fathom. It holds us and squeezes us. We think we can lose our home, but in reality there is no way to shake it, no way at all to break away from the rays of light cascading down toward us, guiding us without error or hesitation. Back home, nothing will ever be better than the joy of being one family. Hold me like the angel you've become, flow with me. The future calls me forever to its winds which grip us and take us to the next day without our consent or knowledge. The heaven we hoped for was always distant enough for us to reach for it, but would never be close enough for us to hold it. The covenant we made with our fate was unbreakable. We tried to conjure a life beyond the stars, but we never could find any mechanism to escape our current circumstances. Our bodies together and perfectly united had no flaws when we're together. All we ever did in our lives was cry out for life. Of mystery in moments when we grasp tightly until we can feel the throbbing in our fingers. The memory of times that will never return to us. Speak with me and elaborate all the secrets of forbidden worlds. I had a dream that I could see the future, and no one ever believed me even after these visions had come true. Over and over again, I dreamed that the world would be flooded with violence, and my lungs were not loud enough or substantial enough for any single soul to stop for even one moment. And to hear my voice, all I ever was, a distant soul, running from the pain of the future, a castaway from a faraway nation, which the world had forgotten about and could pay no mind to. My soul was always breaking in new ways. My heart was always aching, and unable to continue holding in it so much of what it hated, so much of what it longed to destroy. In the night, the world is silent, and at dusk I come and hold you. I know that this morning was always made for us. Now nothing can penetrate the mystical barrier around our home where we will stay forever, holding each other close. The world was vacant of soulful voices. Progress is a race to our future. Our honest morning greets us after nights of celebration. We greet the future with all its ecstatic song. Our weakness inside us grows forever, and we hold on to memories that exited our minds so long ago. These memories which we rejected, they are alive somewhere where we can no longer detect them. My heaven was always so far from me, but it was always deep in my soul. Even if we are the last thriving souls, here we know that every moment in our lives had abundant meaning, and we were exalted by those who had persecuted us. We were the music in the ears of the deaf. We were also able to recreate their hearing, so that for the first time they could hear and respond not only to my voice, but to the voices of all suffering souls. In this universe my anger slowed and became a peaceful song in itself, which I would sing. And when I could not sing, I would hum and send this song out for the whole world to hear and fall in love with. My heart of abundance was healed when it touched yours, because it always desired a comforting touch. Never once in my entire life have I strayed far from where my heart led me. My heart was certain that it was being led to the resting place it always desired, and it found its truth, found its undeserved glory, and found the water in the desert After walking for miles, a vast wasteland where there was no truth to be found. To be had except for the desperate anthem which brought us back to life. Our tears gave life to the suffering souls who we had not so long ago ignored, because the world we had summoned became ours, and we for once in this life could thrive and dream together. And we cast the dark lord out of our dreams so that he would never haunt these dreams again. And he vanished away to dust and shadow, and was never tangible enough to hurt us. A simple word cut through like a sword. We were taken back to the start of the world. We were thrust into dreams which comforted our soul, and we knew we were preparing to build the world that we always wanted to live in. And we built it for thousands of years, but these years seemed like hours. And only at the end did we understand the world was made for us, and we were only stewards over what we had been given. The life in our veins flowed forward, and the precious time in the world became infinite into the future. The walls around San Jose expanded as more people fled from disasters and vicious governments that had complete control over them, until our city was the only city that was safe. We welcomed all of these strangers, and they became friends. We loved them forever and welcomed them into our home, and our sun greeted them every day as they came to visit us. The sun sets over a world that has had enough frustration, enough anguish and pain, and none of it was necessary, but all of it worked forward toward a greater purpose. It was never tangible enough to hurt us, cut through our lives. It was never tangible enough. Of giving and surrendering the deepest part of your heart for another, and that other person's heart became more precious than your own. You bonded with it. In time the barrier around our world was lifted, because eventually the whole world was overcome, and no one could escape from our light. And the misery and the pain and the Lord of these things, yes, even he eventually had run out of places to run, and he was slain with a sword that pierced him like lightning. And he understood that his time was always so short, that no one would be able to remember it. We have all done things that we regret, and I finally met my parents again here in Costa Rica. They greeted me. I had always blamed myself for their deaths, but they greeted me with enthusiastic celebration and happiness. Appreciation and happiness. None of us, one of us, were meant to be divided. It was not in God's heart for us to ever be away from the other. We move forever. My corazón had space in it, not only to hold all of these things, but also eternally more. My voice flooding the shadows, because it always echoed in the voice of the one who lives for eternity. It was carried under his voice to every hiding space in the world, and we were perfectly united, and knew that this was not the end of the story. United here, the joy was unending, the passion of falling in love for the first time, over and over again, and experiencing every joy with certainty. Every light guided us here. There was always space in my heart for you, until you came and filled it. There was always room for your story here, and you have filled up millions of pages. You have filled up millions of pages. Every truth from every book we ever read directed us here at last. We knew that the best days were always ahead, and the space that was empty in my heart you stole. And now it is so warm, and before was cold forever. But we built this home together, and nothing can separate us from it. Together we build and never stop, no matter what words the foolish hearts have said. This was always our goal, to find our place here. My whole heart is warm, and I have loved you with my whole heart. The villains of our story disappeared. The real significance was the part where we could feel the glory of the sun rising forever. Walking by the light, we sustained our life and made it so that we were no longer confused. Always had this light and stored it up forever. The final resting place would be a place of light, a place of freedom, a place where the lights of the stars illuminate everything, and nothing can escape from them. And where the birds fly freely, uninhibited by any force. Living or dead, we are in union with these birds and stars forever. The love in my heart flows forward, even in the absence of being able to see light. I was always asking myself the same questions over and over again. Will life ever get easy? Will the sunlight ever illuminate a path where we can see the love of souls intertwined? Life not yet lived, I cannot move forward without love guiding me. Heaven is never close enough for me to grasp. All I want is a place where I can to take next in the face of so much tragedy. Not burning down my only grocery stores, but churches and homes. I stood in their midst and laid down on the asphalt in the middle of the roaring protest to molten flames. Molotov cocktails mid-air, I was mocked by a powerful love, and no one could take anything at all from me. And I had no fear at all in this world that anything bad would happen at all. Hear my voice in the night, I know that the future will be better than this. We will watch the light fill the world so that all us will have an eternal understanding and reason for why so much pain existed here. The crowds continue to roar and the man is falling off a building, pushed to his death by a mob through the glass of the shopping mall. I have hope and trust in the future dawn, which all others are scoffed at, but here, especially here, when the chaos ensures, we know our true place and our true master, our true horizon. Our ship sails on forever towards destination. The water becomes warm and peaceful, and we can abandon our ship and peacefully swim the rest of the way to blessed lands where the life there is sure. And the silence that flooded our past lives disappears and never haunts us again. We always dreamed about in these oceans, the days that marched on forward, and there was nothing we could do to stop them. The temptation was always to despair and to forget about this heaven deep inside me, closer to me than my blood or even my very DNA and chemical makeup. In the name of emotional truth, we fall down and discover what we never thought would exist. Our hearts have grown as we have grown, our dreams have transposed, and now your dreams are in my heart. The treasure we hold on to was always close in the deep chamber of the heart, and we have no idea what our hearts are, but the only thing we know is that they are aching. The tension in hearts to find a shore where they can rest, the precious moment in this life when my hand first meets yours. If as the Dark Lord tries to enter my dreams. Corrupt my thoughts and the same Dark Lord enters yours, using my mind as a bridge. Corrupt my thoughts and this same Dark Lord enters yours, using my mind as a bridge. In this night, we are the rulers, and I am the king, and I would always rule with justice, with authority and mercy, and there would be no more death, because God had destroyed it and entrusted me with mastery over the small part of the world that have rejected death. We were always tempted to fall into the heaven that called our names. We always had a place for the heaven we believed in, even when it seemed like it was so many infinite miles away. We are here partnering with the birds under the bright Friday night lights of the stars. And we can see all things while we are dancing as they truly are, and as they truly were meant to be. I will never think about yesterday again, because all our best days are to come. Come with me here and dream my dreams. All I want is to nap with you, my heaven resting, our hands that are interlocked forever, locked up forever. The silence of this night burns up forever, where we wait for time to vanish and we become whole. Despite our broken past, we are never satisfied with anything except for the lights, the cascading stars, lighting up Jackal Beach forever. I always wanted to know your destination so that I can follow you and fall forever after you in this light. Nothing more beautiful than our family dancing here. And our son took your hand and led you to a place where the three of us could rest and read stories about the world that existed before, and about the stories I read in my youth in South Africa, my back against a tree for hours. I was writing stories and poems and essays of my own.